I should have seen this coming. I should have known this was coming. But here we are. Okay. You. Yes. All right. So we have two options here. We have Capua, a peaceful province. And we have Tarentum, a slightly dangerous province. So I think we're going to go with we'll do heads Tarentum and tails Capua. Let's go. Heads it is. Slightly dangerous. Okay. We can do that.
Caesar is at today's
Look at those handsome men wearing only plaid shorts.
He has asked me,
It's great.
as proconsul for Roma, to brief you on your next assignment. Now that you have proven your skills, you are to
So we're no
found
longer
small
learning from
cities
Caesar.
far
We have
south
taken a
of
step
Rome.
back, and we are now
To build
learning
the
from
city to
Mr.
its desired
Proconsul Man.
size, you must provide more goods and services than you have achieved thus far. Plan carefully. Rome's Senate expects a good return on the starting money it has voted to give you.
Yeah.
Your new province is rich in resources, but you will need to establish trade routes and export goods to earn all the funds that you will need.
Make sure your citizens pay their taxes too. Oh, I will. Don't worry about that.
Include a dock so that it can trade overseas. Build a dock on the river with the flotsam, and make sure it has a warehouse nearby to store your exports and accept any imports. Trade
Again,
ships will approach
very
your dock
similar
when you
to
have both
Pharaoh.
opened a seaborne trade route and told your trade advisor to buy or sell one or more goods on that route.
Yeah.
Like most buildings, the dock needs road access to labor. Caesar's expectations for you are not excessive. He will rate your performance in 5 categories:
Peace.
prosperity, culture, favor, and overall population size. But the goals he has set you are rather low.
Yeah.
Anything else asked of you should easily be within your power to provide. Caesar will be particularly pleased when you fulfill his requests promptly. Your new province is in
There is a
land
lot
do
of
not
dialogue in
entirely
this.
respect
There's a
Roman rule.
lot of dialogue.
Our old rivals, the Etruscans,
It's okay though.
might
It's
be
okay to
nuisance.
have some dialogue.
Build the security features at your disposal. to
Security
prevent these
features? We're gonna
barbarians
set up an
from
alarm
becoming a
system.
real threat.
Anytime the
You can
barbarians
build
come in, it's just
defensive
gonna set off an
structures
alarm.
and
Wee woo,
create
wee
a
woo.
legion to fight the enemy. Walls will slow down an
Always
enemy's
remember,
advance, although
the
they
barbarians
can
are at the
be
gate.
breached.
Who are the barbarians?
Build
They're
walls
not the
same way you
Romans.
build roads. Click on the wall's starting point, and holding down your left mouse button, drag the wall to its end.
Yeah.
Make the walls at least double thick if you want guards to patrol them.
I do want guards to
Build
patrol my
towers into your
walls.
walls to defend them. Tower guards throw javelins at any enemy that comes within range. Each tower comes with a ballista, a heavy missile
Ballista
launcher
towers?
that can do
Very good.
considerable damage. To train guards for the towers and soldiers for your forts, your city needs a
I probably
balance.
don't need to go through all
The
this. I'm
balance
very
alone
familiar
will
with how to
change
play this
tower
game.
guards,
But, you know,
horse
I figured,
auxiliaries, and
why
javelin
not? Why not
auxiliaries.
let the chatty boy chat?
If it has a supply of weapons, it can also provide legionaries, the best fighters you can have. You cannot train auxiliaries or legionaries until you build a fort for each legion. Build forts well away from your residential districts.
It turns out residential people
New
don't like
soldiers
living next to
walk from the
forts. Who would have
barracks to
thought?
the fort without needing roads. You cannot wall your province off from the rest of the world. Citizens and traders need the freedom to come and go. Be sure you include gatehouses at your city's entry and exit points. And if those Etruscans do cause trouble, make them
Yeah.
feel the pain of daring to challenge Rome.
Okay, settle down a little bit. It's okay. It's just a tutorial. Okay, so here we are. We're here. We're gonna build a nice little town. Probably right in here, if I had to guess. You know, right next to the farmland. So, you know, we're just gonna build a little bit, yeah? We're gonna build a little bit. We're gonna do something like this. Yeah. And this. Excellent. And then this is going to be our housing. We're gonna have desirability issues here. I'm okay with that. I could live with that. We're gonna put our water source there. We're gonna put a couple fountains. I'm going to try not to obsess too much over placing the fountains. I remember when I was a kid, I would struggle so hard to get the fountains in the perfect location. Oh, we have cute little sheep down here. Yeah! They totally won't die at all. I promise. And we're going to plop a granary. We're going to put a line of farms right here. So we have both wheat and vines. Vines allows us to build... Oops. Here, we'll stay with 4 farms. Vines is a resource for wine, which we'll want to produce at some point. Okay. So we now need to build a prefecture. We need to build one up here too, actually. Also, just like an interesting random note that has no relevance whatsoever to actually playing Caesar 3. I never recognized this as a kid, but I very much recognize it now as an adult. This music, this composition, the composition of music in this game, the people who did Lords of Magic also did this music, and I can very clearly hear the similarities. So Lords of Magic is a super old game. I played it a long time ago. A lot of fun. I might have to look into playing it again. I have a promise to fulfill with that game. But, they're made by the same people. Both the games were made by Impressions Games, so it makes sense that the games would have similar music themes. But as a kid, I never really put it together. As an adult, I can hear quite clearly the similarities in the game. I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. It's just kind of an interesting thing. It's funny how you recognize those things a little bit more when you're all grown up versus when you were a child. All right, so we want all 5 temples, of course. There we go. You don't want to miss one of the temples or that deity will get very angry. You don't want to get an angry deity. Angry deities are very bad. Okay, so this should be a good start. We're just kind of waiting for people to come in. Eventually the food will come in. The houses will start upgrading, and then we'll be able to go from there. I don't know if this one marketplace is good enough for all of these houses, but we're going to give it a shot. I'm hoping it'll be okay.
I've never seen so many buildings needing
Well,
more
lady,
work.
maybe if you do your job, if you do your job and get us food, maybe, just maybe, we'll get more people to move in. Yeah. Hunger halts immigration. I'm working on it. It's okay. It's very easy to build too many buildings at the start of a new city. Then the small workforce is spread too thin. Stop calling me out, game. Wait until you have at least 3 sacks of grain in your granary before building new structures. Settle down. It's okay. I promise. I kind of know what I'm doing. Kind of. Game sitting here calling me out. You don't actually know how to build a city. Here's how you build a city. Now, you have to understand that, like, when you go back in time and you play a game, like, from an older era, like, there was no precedence for video games. Like, this is 90s era video games, a decade earlier, the idea of putting a game on a personal computer didn't even exist. So, like, they had to hold your hand. They had to walk you through these things, because if they didn't, then people didn't know what to do. And it's also interesting because, like, I've seen videos online of, like, people trying to get into gaming when they haven't played games before or haven't played games for a very long time. And they struggle to get into them because they don't know the controls. They don't know how they work. Compared to somebody like me who has played games all their life, when I go into a game, I know that WASD is probably going to be the movement keys. In this game, it's not. I know that left click is probably going to do an attack or something. I know right click is probably going to do something else. I know that you usually press E to interact with something in an RPG. You know, you can box select things. Like, those are things that are ingrained into me because I've played this games for my entire life, basically. Alright, so we're gonna plop a theater down over here. And a gladiator... No. An actor colony right here. I should get our houses upgraded a little bit more. So, we have 25 unemployment. We need to start looking at building, you know, some production facilities. I think we're going to start... how do we want to do this? Let's take a look at our trade routes. So, we have Capua here. So, in the last game, Capua bought and sold completely different things from this mission. Again, like I said in the last mission, it matters. Things change. But yeah. So, Capua now sells furniture and pottery and buys weapons. Syracuse here sells weapons and clay, and they buy wine and furniture. It's also a water route. This is a land route. So I think we're going to start with Syracuse here. We're going to start selling furniture, I think. I think that's what our game plan is going to be. Now, the game's going to yell at me because I don't have a dock. No working dock, yes. I know, game. I know. It's okay. We're going to plop a dock right there. And we're also going to plop a warehouse right here. Okay. So this is kind of like a funny little thing. So I've done this before, where I've played Pharaoh, and then I've gone back to Caesar 3. But, like, wood is an extremely valuable resource in Pharaoh. Which makes sense. You're in a desert. It's understandable that wood would be extremely valuable. So whenever I see, like, go to Pharaoh and then come back to Caesar 3, I'm like, oh, I can produce wood. Oh my gosh. I could produce for... Oh, this is the good. This is the goods. This is how we make our money. And sure enough, like, if we look at the prices here, furniture is a decent way of making money. So we make 150 gold off of selling furniture. Wood is not very valuable at all in this game. Wood is actually just as cheap as, you know, meat, for example. It's just kind of a silly little thing that occurs when you jump between the games. It's also, you know, an interesting dichotomy between the two games, between the two cultures. Just kind of an interesting thing. That's all. So yeah, we built those up there. We built these up here. This should cover this, I think. I'm still tempted to put another infrastructure prefecture building here, as well as an engineer's post. What's your problem? Low desirability is your problem. Okay. I guess that makes sense. And we're also going to need... Well, we don't need food. We don't need pottery just yet. We just need a school. And I think that will cover all of this. So I found that the children in this game, they path very weirdly. A lot of times they'll go exactly where you need them to go, but sometimes they'll just stubbornly refuse to. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and plop down... Where are they? Plazas. So unlike in Pharaoh, there's not a minimum amount of desirability needed to build plazas. You can build them over any road, basically, which is nice. Nice. Okay, so... Let's see. I'm just trying to think... I think if we want to build walls, and we might as well... Because we actually have to defend our city. This isn't the Pharaoh remake, where we don't have to ever build walls and towers. We're gonna be building walls. I think we're going to do something like this. Yeah. Excellent. I don't know if this is where... Oh, I can't actually attach it to the wall. Lame. This is still an older game. That's important to keep in mind. They don't have certain quality of life features that would make it nice, like Pharaoh. But this is fine. We'll be okay with this. These houses are still tense up here. Walls already? Look, the dice told me that we're in a slightly dangerous province. I'm gonna be building walls. It's okay, I promise. I don't actually know if we need them. We probably will. Distant battle. Enemies of Rome are fighting their way towards your city. Yeah. And I think... Yeah, so if you look on the trade screen, you can actually see, like, kind of the progress of the enemy army as they approach your city. It usually takes them a few years to get there, though. And you can also see the borders of Rome have expanded. Okay. So we should... Well, we should probably be a little bit smarter about this, huh? My knowledge of Pharaoh will still help me here. In theory. There we go. So, our furniture workshop will drop off the furniture here. And then this worker will come and grab it and bring it back. And we do that, why? Hey, where are you going?
It's more entertaining than the rest of this city.
Why are you going over there? You should be going to here. Oh, there's no people here yet. That makes sense. That makes sense. I just built the thing. Okay. And anyway, back to what I was saying. And why do we do that? We do that because the warehouse workers can carry 4 units of a good, while the workshop workers can only carry 1 unit. It's just a little efficiency thing. Okay, so we still have plenty of food coming in. What does our unemployment is 16%? We can probably build a barracks. And we can start working on defenses. I don't even know if the enemies are coming from this direction. They may come from this direction. That would be a little bit unfortunate. But we'll still drop a couple of towers here, just to be on the safe side. We'll put one there, and we'll put one there. towers need people. Yep. And they also need a guardsman from the barracks. All these are good things. Good things to keep in mind. And we're also going to want to start importing pottery. We can produce pottery. So actually we want to import clay. Yeah. Oh yeah, and plague. People like to be healthy. No. They do? Yeah, I guess we do have access to doctors. So we want doctors, we also want bathhouses. Bathhouses also help prevent plague from spreading. And of course, you can tell this is an older game, even compared to Pharaoh. Because in Pharaoh, they at least have the quality of life change where houses stay alive when there's a plague. In Caesar 3, apparently you get the plague so badly, your house just bursts into flames. Or, I don't know, maybe the rationale is the house has been plagued, so they just burn it down? That may have a certain kind of logic to it. You know, it's like a controlled burn. I don't know. Either way, we got lots of furniture being sold off. We can start working on pottery, I think. I'm gonna put that over here. I'm going to build a warehouse specifically for clay and pottery. Yeah. Because it's part of the awkward thing about playing an older game. If I go in here to clay, to import the clay, you can see I don't have the option to specify how much clay I am importing. The only thing it says is that I'm importing clay. I believe that it tries to only import roughly as much clay as your city consumes. Kind of. But I'm always scared, it's when I play Caesar 3, that the game's just going to fill up my warehouse with raw resources. So I always try to, like, build a separate warehouse. We are going to have some issues with desirability if I keep running the houses this way. Do I care? No, that's a good question. Do I care? Not really. I mean, we do need 2,500 people, so I guess I should care a little bit. But I can just put more houses over here, and I think that'll work just fine. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Maybe I'll put just like a line of temples in here. That'll make the gods happy. That'll improve the desirability of this area a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. No citizens desire to live here. Indeed. And we got our next warning. Again, it's kind of vague on where they are. Although we can check roughly. This doesn't actually tell you specifically where they are. It's just they're close. They're slightly closer. They're really close. I also don't think this indicates which direction they're attacking from. But either way, it's something that we have to be wary of. We're going to produce 2 forts of javelin men. Yeah. Just to protect ourselves. I don't quite know how... I mean, it's the first combat mission. It's not like they're gonna send a massive army at us. I recognize that this game is harder than Pharaoh, but it's not that much harder than Pharaoh. I think we'll be okay. There we go. I also have to be a little bit wary of our money. We've already gone through 2/3 of it. But I don't really think that we're too at risk of running out of money. We may just have to add a little bit more industry, which we could do very easily. We're probably due to add some more farms anyway. And something we can do is just add a couple of vine farms into the mix and start producing wine. Yeah, see, look how much clay is being brought in. That's a lot more clay than I would normally bring in. It really kind of sucks that you can't, like, narrow that down any. But it is what it is. I believe if I was playing the Augustus mod instead of the Julius branch, I believe that is an adjustment that they made. That you can't specify how much you import, but you can specify how many units of a resource goes into the warehouse, which is also something that the remake of Pharaoh did. But I think at the moment, look at this guy's so zoomy. Yeah, look how zoomy he is. Auxiliaries are very fast. I really like the javelin auxiliaries. The mounted auxiliaries, not so much. I don't like those guys just as much. Although, obviously, the legionaries are very good. Okay, let's go ahead and plop down a couple of vineyards here. We're gonna plop down a couple of vineyards. And we're also going to plop down some wineries. And are we going to do the same thing here as well? I don't see why not. I don't quite think that we're going to fill up both of these warehouses with trade goods. And even if we do, well, you know, that just means that we will be quite prosperous, yeah? Okay, so these houses need more entertainment. They need to be entertained more. Kind of forgot that that was going to be a thing a little bit, even though I saw, like, obviously I can build an amphitheater and a coliseum. Big coliseum. But, yeah, we'll just plop an amphitheater here. And a gladiator school down here. Nice. We should also build a senate. We could build a senate up here. That's a fair point. We could build a senate there. And we can start running houses over here. Yeah. Yeah. We can put another reservoir here. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna move this down just a little bit. There we go. And that'll be our new line of housing right there. Excellent. Excellent. I'm liking this. I'm liking this layout. Put a tax collector there. Start collecting taxes from these fancy houses. Though these houses will start eating our furniture a little bit. I'm not super worried about that. And I'd also like to put another guardhouse all the way down here. What sorcery is this? I rotated the wall. Or not the wall. I rotated the map. So this was in the original Pharaoh, was the ability to rotate the map so you could see behind things. I don't really know why they took that out of the remake, but I guess they figured that the flat terrain map kind of did the same thing anyway, and it kind of does. They're kind of not wrong about that. But I like the idea of being able to rotate the map. These guys down here are struggling to get pottery. That's not really that surprising. We have a slow trickle of pottery coming in. It's going to take some time for that to get down there. Just some time. It's just a time thing. I just gotta be patient. Patience, precious. Okay. So, you buy weapons. You buy wine. I didn't know you could do that. Interesting. Huh. I wonder if that's a Julius thing. Or if that was always in the original game and I just never tried it. I'll have to test that out. I'll have to test that theory out when I'm not streaming. Go back to the classic Caesar experience to see if pushing those buttons actually bring up the trade goods. I don't think they do, but I'd be lying if I said that I knew for sure. Okay, all these guys are set up properly. Yeah. Perfect. Alright, so we actually have some pretty nice housing set up, and it's being limited by the lack of a library. We can build libraries. So that's pretty neat. We're still importing a lot of clay. This is why this makes me nervous when I import stuff. Because I always feel like the game tries to import way more than I need. I mean, there's a limit to how much you can import a year, right? Yeah. So maybe that's what limits it? I don't know. I mean, as long as we're using it, I guess that's okay. We have a bunch of new people coming in. Also, let's get this out of the way real quick. Because it's gonna happen. Unfortunately. Yes. You can murder sheep. Yes, it's very sad. And yes, it's probably going to be happening a lot. Unfortunately. You have passive mobs. You also have aggressive mobs. Like, there's some missions where you'll have wolves on the map, for example, that will kill people. It's just kind of the way of things. Okay. So, let's check our risks here. Yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid of. Our risk of fire and crime is a little bit high down here. Let's go ahead and plop down a prefect and an engineer's post. That should hopefully help some of these peripheral areas from having a risk of damage or collapse or fire or destruction or disaster. Ooh, what happened here?
I've been thrown out of my
Yeah,
home.
I got that, but why? They must have downgraded and then immediately re-upgraded. That's the only thing I can figure. Here, this is going to be kind of a sore spot, so we'll go ahead and we'll put a fancy statue in here. The statues in Caesar 3 are much more tame, much more easier to look at than the giant statues you get in Pharaoh. For better or worse, we are exporting. Yeah. So, we have this number here. Not that one, that's prosperity. Peace. So, in Pharaoh, we had the monument rating. The monuments were the big limiter to make sure that you don't complete a mission too quickly. In this, it's peace. So, I don't remember the exact algorithm. I believe that peace goes up by 1 every single year that you don't have riots or invasions that damage your city. Up to 5 years, I think? And then after 5 years, I believe it starts going up at the rate of, like, 5 peace? I don't know. Basically, peace goes up slowly, and then as the game progresses, it goes up more quickly. But if you have damage to your city, I believe that resets. So if you don't have a safe city, you could be stuck on even one of these early missions for a very long time. Also, I have too few libraries working in the city. I mean, we're planning on fixing that. I just want to make sure I don't run out of money. It's actually kind of amazing that this one granary is feeding all of these people. I mean, I'm not complaining. But the gods are complaining. Okay, well, I'm going to need temples over here anyway. So what if we just plop temples over here? Along with a prefecture and an engineer's post. And a slum house. I mean, these won't be slum houses forever. But at least for now, they'll be kind of slum houses. I don't have a market over here. So actually, what I should do is build a granary over here and have it get food. That way, we have food available on this side of the map, because we are going to need that food once we start putting houses down this way. But yeah, so I heard it. I don't know if you folks heard it, but there, about a in-game month or so ago, you heard the ba-da-da-da-da-da. Perfect recreation of that sound, by the way. That is warning me that enemies are at the door. Enemies are at this very moment marching directly toward your city. They have ransacked some villages nearby and are expected to attack the city within the year. So basically what that's telling us is that we're about to be attacked. We are about to be bullied by some enemies of Rome. And we need to be ready for that. What is your problem? No food? Could you not, like, get food from your neighbors? Just, like, walk over with, like, a jar and be like, please, could I have a cup of sugar, please? You know, they'd be neighborly. Maybe they'd be neighborly. Oh, these guys are struggling to get employees? Ooh. Okay, well, guess what? These slum houses are not going to be slum houses for much longer. Because we need employees. Who would have thought? People are eating more food than they're producing, huh? Okay. So I also need a bath over here. I'm going to put that there. And we'll also put a market here. Okay. There we go. Excellent. So those houses should upgrade. What happened to all of our... Oh. What happened to all of our food? That's right. It's going up here to this granary. Because, you know, I'm very intelligent. I did ask for this. This was the thing that I asked for. All right. Here, we'll build some more farms here. Just like that. We'll plop a slum house down right here where this tree is. Yeah. And we'll plop a prefecture and an engineer's post. Perfect. Why are these... Are they really struggling to get people? Huh. I mean, I could put a slum house here. That's not really a problem, but it is kind of surprising. You know what? I bet they're probably wandering outside. We're going to put a slum house there, but I'm also going to get rid of that road. Maybe they won't randomly wander off. Maybe they'll head this way. That has people. None of these do. So weird. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. We'll make it work. I'm also at risk of running out of money. That's largely because I didn't notice the problem right in front of my face. Well, at least the dock worker thinks that the city is okay. At least I have his approval. If nobody else. Yeah, so this granary up here is just soaking up all of the wheat right now. But as more of these farms get food, it'll be less of a problem. But we do need to not build for a while because our city funds are critically low. So we just gotta kind of hope that this extra population here will be enough for now. If it's not, we may have to downsize our industry a little bit. We're also going to need entertainment over here. It's probably a good idea to put a coliseum down over here. I wonder if that would allow everybody to have access to it. Basically we're building a long road. Not quite. It's not quite the long road, but it's kind of similar. We have, you know, our entertainers over here, and they're walking the entire length of the city and providing access to all of these houses. Long road OP. Long road need nerfed. Okay, but we are going to be attacked here soon. So we gotta be a little bit ready for that. Okay, so it looks like our small crisis has been averted for now. We'll see if our crisis will continue to be averted or if things will get worse. And we have plenty of workers now. We can build more wheat. Get more food going. That'll be quite good. Our industry should start getting back up and running now. Yeah. And it may even be worth building a second or a third woodcutter. I mean, eventually they'll fill out the timber yards, so maybe I don't have to worry about it too much. You guys need schools, huh? You can plop a school down. Yeah. Alright, I think we have plenty of food now. Does the game actually tell me? No, the game doesn't tell me or try to tell me how much food that we are providing. That's okay. We don't really need that info. Some citizens want more libraries. Huh. Neat. Okay. So these guys are going to want pottery. Okay, well, they have their pottery now, it seems. But we may need to produce more pottery for... Ooh. There we go. I do not know the sound that left my mouth there. That was the sound of deeply ingrained fear of deleting half of our food supply. Anyway, like I was saying before I made a weird panicky sound, we may need to produce more pottery, which, I mean, it's not like we don't have plenty of clay to do so. It's more the population that's the problem. We can just put a couple of potters here, I guess. I guess that's probably fine. And because I'm always paranoid about these little offshoots, I'm also going to put engineer's post and a prefecture right there. Our furniture market isn't exactly solid, and part of that is because we're exporting furniture. I may need to start producing more furniture. It's probably a good idea. I'm gonna wait a little bit and see. I also want to wait a little bit till my money recovers. But food crisis is done. I have enough room for more furniture. I could put like a woodcutter here, and then like 2 more furniture chops. It's just a matter of me not wanting to move too quickly. Don't have access to a clinic or a hospital. Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, I could fix that. There we go. Crisis averted. Do you have the same problem? No, your furniture. Okay. I could also export less furniture, but I'm a little bit desperate for money right now, so that seems a little bit counterproductive, yeah? Also, it's May? When was that? Okay, so we also have more enemies closing. No, that's the same. Okay, June. Yeah, so next month they should attack me. Okay. Yeah, so I think part of the issue... 10 vines? 24 months to comply. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. The only difficult part is... accepting vines and stockpiling them. Which we can do that just by turning off our wine industry for a few months. It should be fine. If I recall correctly, the requests in this game are mostly pretty generous. I mean, at least at the start. Who knows what will happen in the future. But at least right now, the game is pretty generous at giving us a couple of years to fulfill requests. Which, again, is something that Pharaoh never did, because Pharaoh hates you and wants you to die. Realistically speaking, Pharaoh hates you and wants you to die. And therefore, they don't pull punches in that game. Okay, so let's build more timber yards. Ooh. So I have a road here. A road that I don't really want attached to an industry that's going to burn down. So we may have to settle for something like that. I'm only going to build 1 furniture workshop because I feel like these timber yards are struggling to get wood to all of these furniture workshops. I don't really know why. Maybe they're 3 to 2? Or 2 to 4? Whatever. I don't know the video game. Oh, hey, they are attacking over here. Great. I'm glad I built those walls. But this is fine. This shouldn't be too dangerous. This is Babu's first battle here. We'll be okay. Yeah. Excellent. Problem solved. We have successfully defended our city. Things will get far more complicated later. I know it will. I've seen it. Poor access to employees. Poor access to employees. Maybe they're just struggling to remain employed? Why does this one know? Okay, now this one has employee. Yeah, there's something funky going on with this area over here. Let's just, I don't know, just build more tents. More tents will magically solve our problems, I'm sure. What are you? Oh, you're just a house without food? Okay, it's okay. Okay, so we should start accumulating. Oh, they have to travel so far. Because of this road, the vines have to go the whole way around. Ugh. I mean, we're probably still going to be fine. But I may want to build more vineyards. As much as I hate to do that. I could just build a warehouse closer. I'm too stubborn to do that. We're just gonna do this. There we go. And then we're also going to wrap this around and then probably fill out this with more farms. I don't think we can cross the river yet. Can we? Oh, we can. So that's another possibility. We could come over here and farm. You have to build a ship bridge. But we can do that here. Okay. That's good to know. Could probably also do it over here. No. Yes. Right here. Interesting. I don't quite know how that'll help us just yet, but it may help us in the future. These guys are still struggling with food. Okay. I'm gonna put a market there. I'm thinking probably because of how much I've expanded this road network over here, I'm guessing the market traders are getting lost in the maze of roads. Compared to, like, where we were at the start, where it was just, like, this street. That would be my guess. Okay. So, I do think we're gonna cross the river here. Seems like the easiest place to do it. But I'm just staring at my money. We still have the emergency funds from the Pharaoh that we can use. But I'd rather not rely on that if we don't have to. I said that in Pharaoh too. I'm like, oh, we're never gonna use the Pharaoh's money. And then we use the Pharaoh's money in every single mission. Yeah. Yeah, that went well. We're so broke. And we're still importing clay. Okay, we are starting to get this up and running, I think. It's just like the game said, it's poor access to employees up in this area for some reason. But yeah, putting that marketplace there seems to have solved the problem, or maybe the food just trickled down this way over time. We have 5 vines. We're halfway there. Okay. That should be okay. And if we need to, we can also put wood production down here, along with furniture. But we're not even to 2,500 population yet. One thing that I will say is that Caesar 3 is a harder game. It's a shorter game. I think there's only 15 missions. And they ramp up very quickly. So, you know, even though it was quite generous with our starting money, now that we're having to stand on our own, and I think probably because we had this little population crisis over here, it's really kind of slowed down so much clay. Our production a little bit. But we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. But yeah, people are going to be harder to please. It's going to be harder to get resources to where they need to go. And we're going to have more aggressive enemies. We're going to have more enemies. We're going to have larger armies. There's some of the armies on these missions are huge. It's going to be interesting. That's for sure. That is something that I can say with absolute certainty. Okay. So, of course, these industries are turned off because we're directing the vines over here. I will want to disallow vines once we're done with the trading, because we do have more vineyards now than we need. And if I don't do that, this warehouse will eventually just get completely filled with vines. We don't want that. We don't want the vineyard to be full of vines. Are we there yet? No. Should be getting close, yeah. What do you think about this, Mr. Gladiator? You are a child. You are not a gladiator.
Everything's no sign of
This city isn't.
salutations. Life here is all right, isn't it?
Yeah, I love the voice acting in this game.
This city seems all right.
Even with the child. Look at all that wheat. I feel like they're carrying a lot more,
The cities go.
but I think it's just because there's two...
The cities go. This one.
No, there's only one warehouse man. There's one warehouse man. I think it delivered 800 units of wheat. So yeah, those warehouse men are strong men. Very strong, very powerful. Very handsome. But mostly strong and powerful. Can I build a low bridge? I wonder what happened if I built a low bridge over my water crossing. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, there we go. I don't want to do it. I mean, I kinda do want to do it. Will the game actually let me do that? That's terrible. Because I assume that will block the ships from coming in. I could totally see somebody brand new to the game not knowing what they're doing and doing that, and then wondering, why isn't my naval trade coming in? Huh. Interesting. Okay. These houses are still struggling to get furniture. And these guys need a barber, huh? I don't understand it. Why don't you just let your hair grow out long? That's what everybody else does. There we go. Pharaoh. Caesar is happy with us. Indeed. So we really only need the population at this point. We have 1,500 people. We need 900 more. Where can we put these people? I mean, we could put them wherever. Mostly it's going to be a money thing. Do I care about the money thing? Not really. I can just go nuts with it. I just realized that we're making a massive city square. Whatever, it's fine. Let's just keep going, shall we? People are eating more food than they're producing, huh? Maybe we could fix that. Okay. We're gonna put temples in here, because I'm sure the gods are starting to get a little bit irritated. Yes? No, they're still pretty happy. Okay. Well, I guess I staved off an emergency that could happen sometime in the future. Plop down a prefecture. Engineer's post. And all the way down here at the end, we're gonna smack... I forgot how big they were. We're gonna smack down a Colosseum. I'm gonna put it like right there.
You got through those funds quickly. Try to make
Lee
these new
off the
funds last
page.
longer.
There we go. Excellent. City in debt, it is okay. I don't think that hurts our opinion. Yeah, that doesn't hurt Caesar's opinion. It only hurts his opinion the next time. He will be very angry with us if we run out of money again. Okay, and then we can also plop down a lion house here. But that will give us the funds necessary to finish this mission, which is honestly kind of what I was expecting or hoping for. There we go. I'm just going to keep running this down like that. And we're going to need more food. The game has already warned me of that. It's nice of the game to warn you when you're short on food instead of just letting your people die. But again, as I said, this is early days of gaming. They were kind of a little bit anxious that people weren't going to know how to play. So I get it. I understand. And we'll put a sun house there. There we go. Surely that'll be enough food for everybody. I hope. At the very least, it'll be enough food for Shirley, right? Now, we could just kind of do this. I don't want to screw up our entertainment long road, we'll say. Because what this is doing, this is providing access to all of our people to, I think to even the Colosseum, right? Yeah. Yeah. So this one Colosseum is providing access for our entire people. And this is the concept of the long road that you'll see probably mentioned in this chat as well occasionally. Definitely it was mentioned a few times in Pharaoh, where you have all of your production and things of that nature over here, and they have to travel the entire length of the map, providing access to all of your people. Hey, there's a lion. Look out, buddy, the lion's coming. Oh, we don't get to see him mauled by lions? Rip. Well, that's too bad. So the other thing that I want to try to make sure I do here, I think we're going to do something like that. And then for this guy, I want him to go get me pottery. I'm going to try to get him to go get pottery for something that I mentioned earlier. Because markets don't claim resources like they do in the remake of Pharaoh. In theory, a market worker could leave this market to get pottery, walk the entire length of the city, get here, only to find that there's no pottery there, and then disappear. I think they disappear. Maybe they just walk back. I don't remember. And that's just a complete waste of time. So you want, like, I guess you could call them, like, waypoints for your finished goods to spread out across your city. We'll see how well it works in the long run. But for now, this is what we're doing. I'm less worried about that with food, because we're actually producing a lot of extra food right now. What may happen is this market may struggle to get enough food, where like they can walk past here, provide food to just a couple of houses because they're only getting like 200 units of food instead of 800 units of food. But yeah, that should be pretty close to the correct amount of population that I'll need to complete this city. Then we'll be good to go. And this is the highest level we can get these cities, these houses at, the medium insulae, because we don't have access to oil. Yeah, we don't have access to oil. And we're still struggling to get enough furniture for everyone, but that's because I'm exporting a lot of it. I could probably solve that problem if I stopped exporting all of our furniture and stockpiled, like, 4 units of furniture. Which I guess we can do. We could also just overproduce on furniture. But I don't think that's necessary for this mission. I think we just need to get to 2,500 pops. But we have completed all of our objectives. So, well, no, I guess we still need the population. We haven't completed all of our objectives yet. But I still think we've got to fast forward through this last little bit. I can't sit around all day watching people wander around in circles, right? I still find it kind of funny how you basically just have like a massive block of houses. Now, there is a drawback to like this weird city layout, or like the long road layout. And that's largely having to do with your culture rating. In order to get culture rating, all of these have to be very good coverage, or perfect coverage for all of your people. And as you can see, even though we only have one theater that covers most of the population, our theater access is quite poor. Because it just doesn't house enough people. But it's fine. We are okay. We're also going to finish our little plaza square there. Nice. And we are collecting pottery here. That's good. So yeah. More vines? Come on, game. I mean, I could get more vines. It's definitely something I can do. But I don't want to. Also, I'm a little bit surprised. Do we actually not have enough? No, we have plenty of housing still. We're just not using it. Yet. There's probably like a limit of how many people can come in a year. No? No, this looks pretty consistent. The houses may just be wobbling between the different upgrade states. That could be it. I mean, I could just build some more houses. It's not that easy, actually. I need to build a reservoir. Like that. And then build more housing. So I heard the little alarm that we're about to get attacked. When am I getting attacked? Next September. Okay. We will deal with that when the time comes. Yeah, it looks like these houses are just struggling to stay upgraded, which is probably a fair point. Like, this one... This was having a desirability... All these are having desirability issues, actually. Didn't I finish this road? I thought I put plazas along that. Whatever. It's fine. And I could also probably put a market in here. Yeah, we can do that. It's a little bit jank, but it's okay. Yeah, Tally on death. Tally, we have aqueducts now. Well, I mean, we had them before, but it's all good. Yeah, aqueducts are neat. Aqueducts? Aqueducts. I mean, I guess they're kind of aqueducts because they're docking the reservoirs together, but either way. Alright, we're just about done here. Just need about 50 more people to enter our town. This is kind of why I don't like fast-forwarding the game. Because when you fast-forward the game, and you go back to a normal speed, it makes the game feel so slow. I mean, it is what it is. It's totally fine. But it's just weird. It just feels weird. I wonder why my favorite with Rome was dropping. I mean, it's fine. We've completed his request, so he's pretty satiated. Too few academies. We actually don't have enough culture. Huh. I mean, there's probably a good reason we don't have enough culture. We don't have enough entertainment buildings. But, or maybe our unemployment is dragging us down. I just noticed we had 23% unemployment. We can build a couple academies. That should pull our problem back up. It'll also solve some of our unemployment issues. Yeah. Because I think these house 30 people, yeah. And we can get rid of this barber. And we could put, I don't know, amphitheater and a theater up here. that. Food is becoming a problem again. But I don't think it'll be a problem for very long. Because we just need to pump our theater. We need to pump those theater numbers. Here, let's just plop. Yeah, no, there we go. All right. So, since this is our first real mission, we can continue governing the city for a few more years if we had any unfinished business. But I think we're just going to accept the promotion and continue. You get this nice little cutscene. Hooray, you won. Oh, look at me, I'm so handsome. Everybody's clapping for me.
The Etruscans will not threaten Tarentum again. Well done. It is the rare governor who can balance city building and combat. Now let us see if we can repeat your success.
Caesar, they attacked us with like 3 people. Or 4 people. I think I handled it just fine, thank you.